What's up, guys? So, I haven't posted a long COVID update in a while. So, tomorrow will be me entering month 14 of this train ride through hell. But I do count my blessings that I'm still here, still able to fight through it. I had gone back to work in September as a teacher, and was I 100%? Definitely not. But I pretty much just trick myself all day. Like, I'm like, yo, I'm good. I'll be good next month. I'll be good next month. And I'm like, yo, I'm a beast. I'll do this no matter what's going on. That's just my approach towards recovery. So I try not to fall into the trap of some people that are like, well, like, actually, a good friend of mine that I played high school and college ball with just hit me up, and he's like, he's been dealing with it for a year. Unfortunately, more respiratory for him, like it messed up his lungs. And this kid was a phenomenal athlete. And I was kind of surprised talking to him. Like, he seemed like a little defeated. He's like, yeah, like, life will never be the same. And there's a lot of people like that are just like, oh, I'm just like this now. Like, I'll just lay in bed. And I'm like, I've never even gone to the extremes of like having all these tests done for chronic fatigue, and like I honestly don't care at this point. Like, I'll never allow my brain to believe, like, to be honest, I don't even want to know. I don't want to know like all of it, because I just focus on 100% total recovery. And I spent the last year, well, the first 6 months of it, I wouldn't say I was recovering, because I knew what it was, but it took me so long to convince doctors, and I ended up in a psych ward and therapy and medication and yada yada. So probably not till last April, after I finally had a confirmed blood test for the antibodies for SARS-CoV-2, whatever. And even then they're like, well, we don't know if that's causing all your problems. I'm like, all right. This is after like tons of cardiologist appointments, like everybody saying, oh, everything looks fine. Like, we don't know. So after that, I started doing my own shit. Non-inflammatory diet, acupuncture. I had a stellate ganglion block done in July. Supplements, cold showers, baths in Epsom salt and bentonite clay. I mean, literally everything you can think of. Like, there's more stuff I could have done. There's just only so much time and money in the day. But I don't know, it's just weird, man. So the last month I started having issues with insomnia again, because for me, I have like the classic pot symptoms. So I really think that's the culprit for a lot of my issues. I started having the insomnia pretty bad. I started, like, derealization was bad. I sometimes will get like intrusive thoughts and stuff. So I tried to, like, the problem is, like, I approach this very holistically. Like, I'm not really a Western medicine guy. I'm not saying it's bad or it doesn't help some people, but I haven't been too thrilled with the way, like, I didn't go to a doctor for a decade, put it that way, until this shit happened. So I'm like, all right, but like, when I express those issues I'm having to my family, they're just like, oh, you need more medication, you need a new medication. I'm like, man, that's all you guys talk about. Like, they don't, not that it's their responsibility, but I'm like, I've studied this thing for a year. I'm like, you guys don't like really study the disease and read all the stories I send you and all the studies and the millions of people I've talked to on Reddit and YouTube and whatever. So, that was a big struggle for me for a long time, trying to explain this illness that I'm learning myself as I'm going through it, and trying to like explain that to my family, who's just like, medication. And I had an episode a few weeks ago where I got pissed about it, you know, and I'm like, dude, that's all you guys talk about. Like, you just want to send me to another doctor that doesn't know anything about this and stick me on some medication. So I got pissed and had a little bit of an outburst, a little extreme. And my family's solution was to send me back to a psych unit. And I was like, please don't do that. Because I was in one for 3 days a year ago. I'm like, this is not the place for long COVID people. But unfortunately, my hands were tied and I had no choice. So I ended up in there for 10 days. They stuck me on a new medication because they're like, oh, well, you're having mania from not sleeping and you might be bipolar and da-da-da. And I'm like, no, I just have long COVID. Like, I don't want to take this. But I couldn't get out unless I took it. So I had to take it. So now I'm taking this new medication that I don't even want to take. It did help me sleep, but like the problem is none of these things, like, it's like, all right, I have long COVID that's causing some mental health issues and neurological issues. I'm not bipolar. I'm not this. I'm not that. The symptoms may present like that, but that's not the root cause of the problem. I'm a root cause person. So like, it's tough because in my mind, before I went in there, I was so focused on like, all right, I'm in month 13, like I'll be good by month 18. I read about a lot of people 12 to 18 months, like who knows? I just tell myself that, and I just keep the train going, the diet, the acupuncture, everything. But I've kind of hit a roadblock with this because now I have to like undo the damage of going back to a psych hospital, which was insane, with like literal insane people. Work with my psychiatrist to get off the medication. And I'm like, you know, my family thinks like, oh, we saved your life, we were doing the right thing. And I'm like, I just never see it that way. And I'm like, all right, it's just another roadblock that's like kind of in the way of me recovering from this. So that being said, I mean, I feel all right. Like I kind of go in and out of it still, but you know, it's the reality is it takes time. It takes time to heal, and it's so hard when you're not 100% and your family doesn't understand why, and they just ask you a million questions. And you know, how can you explain to somebody what this is if they don't I mean, if somebody was explaining it to me and I didn't have it, I'd be like, dude, you're bugging out. Go to the gym. Like, let's grab a beer or whatever, you know? I'd probably be naive to it. You know, it's like, it'd be like getting shot in the chest and like trying to explain how that felt to someone and they've never been shot in the chest or something. Like, I don't know. It sucks, but always believe that you can recover. The body is an incredible thing. You know, we have to look at the bright side, like, hey, it didn't kill us, so we are lucky. And there is people a lot worse. I seen videos of a kid, COVID messed him up so bad, he had to relearn how to walk and talk again. So I keep that in perspective. I'm like, all right, for me, like physically, I feel a lot better. I mean, I'm still slightly fatigued, but like, I do shit. I go to the store, go to work, like, doesn't really stop me from doing anything. It's more the mental symptoms for me. But I'm hopeful that it'll clear in time. You know, I think having a positive mindset and just believing that you will recover and talking to other people who have recovered has helped me a lot. But yeah, that's my update for as we approach month 14, guys. So hang in there, keep fighting. At the end of the day, I mean, it's all we can do. Every day I wake up, I'm like, all right, I'm still alive. I'm still here. I got time. Like, it sucks though. Like, I'm 35 years old. I miss being like, oh, it's Thursday. Like, go to work, watch Thursday night football, have a beer, like weekend coming up. Like, that plane of existence, like, doesn't exist for me anymore. Like, you're kind of stuck in this realm where every day is like just the same shit. And I'm hoping to break out of that soon. Like, I can see it in my head. It's just like, all right, how do I get there? Like, how do I get there? Like, how do I stop living in this, like, brain fog dream? Like, oh, I'm in my car right now, but I was just in my house. Like, how did that happen? Like, you know, just weird stuff. But unless you have it, it's hard to explain. But anyway, I pray for us all. Keep fighting, guys. Keep, you know, one thing my people say to me, oh, stop researching. No, and they used to make me feel guilty. I said, you know what? I'm not going to stop researching. Like, there's something wrong, and I want to figure it out and fix it. Like, I'm not going to just pretend that I don't have this to, like, make everybody else happy, you know? And it's hard because they're like, well, you got to spend more time with us. You got to do this. You come home from work, you got to rest. Why are you resting? You went to work. I'm like, man, can't you just believe me that this is hard? This is hard as heck. Like, it's tough, man. But I still count my blessings, man. I had 34 years of an extremely blessed life, you know. I got a beautiful wife, 2 daughters, a great family, good friends. So that's what motivates. That's what, like, they don't see. Like, hey, I'm trying to beat this for you guys. Like, I'm not isolating in my room researching because I'm bored, you know. I'm like, hey, how do I feel back to 100? So it is what it is. But I pray for us all. Keep fighting the good fight, guys. You'll make it out. Believe in total recovery.